New Ventures. Written by Dragon Lingdar. Read by Arashi. Lysithea was very proud of her bakery. She had started it as both a self-imposed challenge and a way to distract her from a terminal illness diagnosis. She wanted to see if she could make something successful, something that people would remember, in what time she had left alive. She had opened it in Garreg Mach, where she was undergoing her treatments in a last-ditch effort to cure her, and where she had once been a student. She figured students and those suffering from unusual and poorly understood diseases could both benefit from the pick-me-up power of a quality cake. It didn't take long for word to spread through the town and Officers' Academy, given her wide range of selections, gluten-free, sugar-free, vegan, and low sweeteners, as well as more traditional offerings, and rotating weekly specials. She never expected to become busy enough to hire other employees, but eventually she had to place a job posting online. That was how she met Annette again, after years of not having seen the other woman after their time together as students.
"I thought you were working as a professor at the academy," Lysithea said as Annette arrived for her interview. "Why do you want to work here?"
"Because I want to help a friend out," Annette replied with her normal cheer, her smile making Lysithea reflexively want to smile back.
"I always remembered you being fairly clumsy in the kitchen, though, so maybe you could run the front," Lysithea offered. "Some people find my personality abrasive."
Annette looked offended and said, "How rude of them! How could anyone find you abrasive? You're just driven, a perfectionist, and have little time for fools. None of those are bad things. Abrasive, really, how much more inconsiderate can you be to call someone that to their face? Or do they only say that in online reviews?" "Both," Lysithea said, a dry note to her tone. Annette reached across the desk and put her hands over Lysithea's, her expression earnest and a bit angry. "That is extremely unfair to you. Given all that you're going through, please let me help. I can help you after school and on weekends, I swear."
"I don't want you to run yourself ragged," Lysithea said,
Annette's touch comforting. "You need to take extra care of your health while you're undergoing treatment," Annette replied.
"I'm not a child anymore. I can handle it,"
Lysithea huffed. Annette's hand never left hers, though, and her smile was sympathetic without being condescending. "I know you can. You can do anything you set your mind to," Annette said. "Look how successful you've made this bakery all on your own. Who else could achieve such a thing besides a genius like you?" Lysithea tried not to preen, but genuine compliments recognizing her intelligence and accomplishments had been few and far between in the last few years, so it was difficult to resist the urge. "But," Annette continued, "you don't have to do everything alone, not when you're trying so hard and undergoing experimental treatments to get better. Let me help. You won't have to interact with idiots anymore if you let me work the front, while you make your delicious sweets and treats in the kitchen. And if there are days you're feeling particularly bad because of the treatment, I can always call Mercy in to help for a day. We can advertise it as a guest baker for the day. It would make people curious, so you might get a bit more customers that day. Oh, we could also come up with a logo for your bakery and use a more eye-catching font for your sign. We have to develop your brand, you know?" Lysithea blinked and tried not to smile, but lost that fight.
"I never thought of those things. That would probably mean employing a graphic designer."
"Ignatz!" Annette chirped. "I'm sure he'd be happy to help, since you two are in the same class and all."
"You really think so? He's such a famous painter now, and has an exhibit running. Do you really think he'd help?"
"Of course, he's a sweetheart," Annette replied. "Oh, we should invite another one of your classmates, Raphael, to try your sweets. He's got a chain of restaurants now, but their desserts are meh at best. Maybe he could specifically serve what you make. Then you'd get even more exposure." Lysithea nodded, considering Annette's plans.
"Those are all great ideas. I'll have to reach out to Ignatz and Raphael since I know them better than you, but you'll have to explain your grand plan to them and convince them to help. I'm not charismatic."
"Leave it to me," Annette chirped, smiling. "Oh, this is so exciting!" Annette began expounding upon even more suggestions and plans for Lysithea's bakery, so all Lysithea could do was sit back in her chair and take notes on all the things Annette thought of. Some were feasible, some weren't. Her bakery wasn't that profitable to risk expanding to new locations, but it was nice, having someone so enthusiastic on her side. She hadn't thought she'd missed her classmates, but perhaps it wasn't all bad to rely on other people.